Namaskar, very warm welcome to all our viewers and learners in this live phone-in session of CIET NCERT. I'm Renu Bhatt with you all, and you all are watching PM eVidya channels, channel number 6 to 12 and on our NCERT official YouTube channel. और आप सभी का स्वागत करते हूँ अपने इस खास प्रोग्राम में जो है सहयोग, जिसमें हम बात करते हैं बच्चों के मेंटल वेलबींग पे एंड वी ट्राई टू प्रोवाइड देम साइको सपोर्ट एज वेल. और साइको सोशल सपोर्ट पे हम बात करते हैं और इससे जुड़े हुए टॉपिक्स हम लेकर आते हैं. जो टॉपिक हमारे आज के सेशन का वो है इमोशनल मैच्योरिटी व्हाट एंड हाउ, एंड इट्स क्वाइट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक फॉर दीज डेज वी कैन से. इमोशनल मैच्योरिटी क्या है, किस तरह से आप इसे पा सकते हैं, आपको बताया जाएगा हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स के द्वारा जो इस टाइम हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं. चलिए उनसे मुलाकात करते हैं. हमारे एक्सपर्ट हैं डॉक्टर दक्षा एम परमार, यूर फैकल्टी फ्रॉम RIE NCERT भोपाल. वेरी वार्म वेलकम मैम.
Namaskar.
Namaste. And we have our practicing counselor with us. You are Miss Shivani Arora. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
Namaskar, welcome.
And to all our viewers and learners, let me give you some certain information so that you can participate in this live phone-in session. और आप हमें call कर सकते हैं.
Going through difference between emotional maturity and emotional intelligence, I would first start with what is emotional maturity. So maturity is not just about growing up physically or advancing in age. It's about growing up mentally as well as emotionally. Someone who has not reached that stage is supposed to be immature. So that's easy to understand when it comes to physical development. But does it mean to be emotionally immature? Emotional maturity relates to an individual's ability to both manage and understand their emotions, helps to cope with the difficult situations that life throws at us. Emotional maturity is one aspect of maturity, but there are many lacking in it. It's a critical aspect of being mature and not just maturing in age. Maturity goes a long way in building and solidifying our relationships and our interactions and communications with the people. It's a prerequisite for a contented life and can be a pivotal factor in how we perceive and deal with the world around us. Maturity is also knowing that there are things in life that cannot be changed but should be accepted the way they are. So what is this magical trait and how it can be achieved? According to American Psychological Association, emotional maturity is defined as a high and appropriate level of emotional control and expression. Emotional immaturity, on the other hand, is a tendency to express emotions without restraint or disproportionately to the situation. In other words, emotional behavior that is out of control or not appropriate to the situation can be considered as immature. It's more like emotional reaction you might expect to see from a child rather than from an adult. Emotional maturity involves the ability to be self-aware of one's emotions and to be able to filter them before acting on them. A lot of decisions and choices would be based on the strength of your emotion. Thus, we must mature in our emotions. Emotional maturity also involves being able to respond wisely in each moment while staying true to yourself. A large part of emotional maturity comes from being in tune with yourself about how you are feeling. When you can express your feeling, hurts, excitement, sadness and appreciation rightly in the right proportion, then you are supposed to be said that you are mature. Coming to difference between emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and understand yours and others people's emotions. Emotional maturity, on the other hand, is the ability to apply your emotional intelligence knowledge in an appropriate way based on the situation and the people involved. Coming to why emotional maturity. So having said that, the adolescent years is the most critical time in one's life, during which emotional maturity plays a crucial role. This is the time when our emotions are turbulent and we learn to feel love, hate, fear, sadness, excitement, embarrassment, frustration, and anger maximally. So the sex of the person, family size, birth order, school, society, peer group, and socio-economic status plays crucial role in developing our emotional maturity. Why emotional maturity is important? Emotional maturity supports learner to manage the demands of the society and learning environment. It enables the learner to form relationships with their peers, recover from their disappointments or sadness, that is building resilience, overcome frustration and express anger. We all feel angry. So express anger in socially acceptable ways. Those with emotional maturity can admit when they need help. They are able to clearly communicate with their parents, peers for more help around. Coming to traits of good emotional health. A person with a good emotional health will be emotionally stable. He will be feeling calm and able to manage emotions. He will be having resilience, that is the ability to cope with the stresses of daily life. He will be optimistic, feeling positive about your life and future. Positive reinforcement. It's a strong tool for encouraging growth. Even adults also respond positively to praise. He will be able to communicate better, talking honestly but sensitively about their behavior. They will try to adjust their own expectations. Of course, within limits. Not everyone will change, but you can change how you respond to people. To you, Renu ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, and very well explained by you, ma'am. And now please explain to our learners how one can achieve and how one can identify emotional maturity in individuals, ma'am.
Okay. So, coming to how to identify emotional maturity, having a sense of where you came from. We are all profoundly affected by our surroundings and our environment. So, that is where we grew up, our family background, our community, all influences our biases and prejudices. Having an awareness of these biases and prejudices influences our decision making ability and our action goals, and is a key indicator of emotional maturity. Through this awareness, emotionally mature people are better able to see the world from a different perspective. Then being able to admit when you are wrong and taking the responsibility for your actions. It is not easy to admit when you are wrong. However, the ability to do so is a key sign of emotional maturity. Admitting when you are wrong not only demonstrates that you take responsibility for your actions, but it also shows that you are not quick to blame others for your own mistakes. An obsession with always being right, no matter at what cost, is an indicator of emotional immaturity. Apologizing takes courage, and in recognizing your own weaknesses, we can demonstrate our emotional intelligence. The same goes for receiving criticism as well. An emotionally mature person is able to receive criticism, not only takes it as a personal attack, rather they can aim to learn from it instead. Then practicing self-forgiveness and not dwelling on the past mistakes. The ability to admit when you are wrong goes hand in hand with letting go of your previous mistakes. Rather than punishing yourself for what went wrong in the past or clinging to the feeling of regret, a key aspect of emotional maturity is learning to let go. You realize that you are only humans and forgive yourself. Be kind to yourself as a key part of emotional maturity. Allow yourself to learn from your mistake rather than dwelling on yours. Then practicing self-forgiveness and showing empathy to others. People with high level of emotional maturity shows kindness to others as well as to themselves. This is done through the ability to empathize, as well as being able to show care and consideration for the feeling of those around. In the same way that an emotionally mature person is aware of their own prejudices and biases, they are also able to see when specific circumstances and challenges affect the action of others. It is often easy to spot an emotionally mature person as people are naturally drawn to them, thanks to their ability to listen without judgment and show empathy to others. Next point is being honest with yourself and asking for help. A large part of emotional maturity comes from being in tune with your emotions and being honest with yourself about how you are feeling. It is incredibly tempting to ignore a particular emotions or memory that we are uncomfortable with. However, in doing so, we banish these emotions from our psyche and allow them to take control of us in different ways. Emotional maturity means that acknowledging those feelings and acknowledging that perfection is impossible. Everyone is partial to feeling difficult emotions such as fear, anger, love, hate, jealousy, and embarrassment. The most important thing to be honest with yourself about what you are feeling and not being afraid of asking for help in times of difficulty. Next point is take a calm approach and rationalize fears and anxiety. So it is impossible to never feel anxious or afraid. However, it is how we deal with these emotions that determine our level of emotional maturity. If anxiety is controlling our thought patterns, this can have a severe effect on our well-being. While it is certainly not easy, step of increasing emotional maturity is not always envisaging the worst case scenario. So being emotionally mature means that you can rationalize feeling of anxiety and fear by recognizing that sometimes things do go wrong, but largely you can get through these difficult times. Next is the ability to...
Ma'am, I'm requesting you, can you please tell us in brief so that
yes,
we
sure.
can...
I'm coming to
yes,
my
ma'am.
last point, ma'am. So the ability to detach your emotions from your reactions. A great deal of emotional maturity comes from being aware and handle your emotions. This ability can have a profound effect on your interaction with others, as you are able to create a distance between your immediate reactions and your initial emotion. So this ability to react more carefully is an example of practicing mindfulness. In your day-to-day life, as you observe your initial emotion, recognize it, and then think about how you should react rather than allowing your instinct to dictate your response and saying the first thing that comes to your mind.
Right, ma'am.
So this practice can go a long way towards maintaining positive relationship and is a sign of being an emotionally intelligent and mature person.
Right, ma'am.
Over to you, ma'am.
Right, ma'am. Rightly said by you. And Shwani, ma'am, we are very curious to know can we achieve mental, emotional maturity, and how we can improve that, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. As we know that emotional quotient is more important than IQ. Emotional maturity is very much important. No one is born with emotional maturity. Rather, it is shaped with our life experiences and our relationship within the family. Emotional maturity is controlling our emotions rather than letting out our emotions. So it is just like trying out emotional maturity without taking out time to understand how emotions would like to. It is just like trying to become a surgeon without having the basic understanding of human body. Building emotional maturity relies on both self-exploration and self-education. Here I would like to mention that children and the parents, viewers, that parents and other members of the family, they play a very significant role in contributing to the health and development of an adolescent. Parents, they must create a conducive, fostering and supporting environment for smooth transition from adolescence to adulthood. So it's very much important that the family members, parents, they play an important part. Yes, ma'am.
Right, ma'am. And how we can improve that?
No one size fits all, so that we know that this approach is very much clear with, to achieve emotional maturity. But yes, it is not something impossible. There are few steps that one can go through. One is self-awareness. You must first know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you should be master of your own emotion. First, knowing yourself is the necessity. People do not see things as things are, but they see the things as they themselves are. So, what are your triggers? What are your thoughts? What are your emotions? First, know that. Then journal your ideas. Write it down. Please write down your emotions, write your feelings, what triggered you, and in what situation, how did you react? How would you handle it in next time? All that is extremely important. Third point is observe rather than react. Immediately one should not give reaction. Take time, give a pause, understand other person's feeling, other person's lookout, and then take responsibility of what you have done. Whatever your actions are, take full responsibility of your act, whether good or bad.
Ma'am, we have only one more
First
minute
for
left.
you,
Ma'am, we have only one more minute left for the session, ma'am.
I'll wind it up. If you take the onus on yourself, then you can improve. Then count your blessings. That is the best thing. Be grateful, be thankful to the God. Practice yoga or any other activity that gives you happiness, because yoga gives you clear vision, it increases sensitivity towards others, it provides alertness. Activities gives you happiness, and happiness should be the only goal, not success and failure. Avoid self-pity, self-regret, be empathetic to all, and find your role models. Like how that person would react in this situation if this is the situation. That is
Right.
called emotional maturity. So evolve yourself, reparent to achieve emotional independence, resilience, and balanced perspective of life. Master your emotions to master your happiness, as that is the road to get emotional
Right, ma'am.
maturity.
So,
Thank you.
thank you, ma'am. Those were the steps, dear learners and viewers, through which you can improve and achieve emotional maturity. As we are running very short of time, we have to wrap up this session. But before that, Daksha ma'am and Shivani ma'am, आपका बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे जुड़ने के लिए. Thank you so very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And dear learners and viewers, it's time for me to wrap up this session, but you stay tuned to PM eVidya channel and on our NCRT official YouTube channel for more informative program. Next one is Nipa. Me, Renu Bhatt, is taking your leave. Namaskar.